Wrestlemania down! It's more, lots more!
Folks, welcome back to the show where it is not wrestling with your conscience. It is not wrestling with your budget. It is wrestling with emotion. And this is basically Mardi Gras multiplied by your birthday, multiplied by Christmas morning, because it is day one of night one of WrestleMania weekend. So let's get our panel in here. You know them, you love them. Slick Saturday. We got the Prophet, Rob Ryan. We got McAdoo into the saddle. Of course, you think he was going to miss a WrestleMania show? No chance, folks. No chance in hell. The head of the table. Yeah, we must respect him. We must acknowledge him of Wrestling with Emotion. Michael J. Partham. You got the Mark, the man, the myth, the Markand. Oh, it's not business suit, folks. Even though we are taking care of business at WrestleMania, it's sweatpants Joe. And then we got making a long-awaited return, which is rumors we're hearing about this morning, but he's back, folks. Strong Daddy. And then last but not least, the voice of reason here on Wrestling with Emotion. Someone who always keeps us reeled in when we want to cast out our opinions. It is Ernie Green. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight? How is everybody feeling tonight, friggin' the morning, going into WrestleMania night one?
Yeah.
I'm doing great until I see McAdoo over here. You see my headline, I will drop some gospel on your sorry ass.
Drop some gospel, Rob. This has been a big wrestling week for you. You were at Dynamite on Wednesday night. Then you were up all night with the Hall of Fame story. What are you feeling going into tonight?
Oh, I'm just ready. I've been waiting for this moment. You guys all know this is how I got the name, The Prophet. I am ready to mark out on Sunday night, and it may be a different Rob Ryan come Monday morning if the results don't go the way we want them to go.
Wow, you're going to take your ball and go home, just like Roman Reigns is threatening to do. Michael J., what are your thoughts?
Every WrestleMania, they say it's the biggest WrestleMania of all time. There's a reason for that. It's because every WrestleMania has been built on the backs of every WrestleMania before it, one after the other. So they're not lying when they say it's the greatest WrestleMania of all time or the biggest one. Well, biggest WrestleMania, but will it be the greatest? That's going to play out over the next two nights as far as how the matches go, how the storylines go, and we'll see.
McAdoo?
Oh.
Sorry, I was going to say, because McAdoo's been ready to surrender his tribal chief before. It wouldn't be the first time. Is it finally time, McAdoo? Is it finally time?
You just got to stay tuned in and watch out.
Okay. Speaking of which, Mark Ali, what do you got?
I'm so excited. There is no weekend like WrestleMania weekend for a Mark. It is a great time to be alive, too, because we have one of the best ones I've ever seen.
All right, take us home, bottom row. Sweatpants Joe, Straw, and Ernie Green. What do we got going into WrestleMania night one?
This is going to be an interesting night for the Judgment Day. That's what I'm looking forward to. The Judgment Day's all over the card tonight. Let's see what happens with the Judgment Day after tonight.
By the way, can I just say I love Sweatpants Joe's little tag under his name.
Who doesn't love the Baby Downs? Region's premier entertainment destination. Straw?
I haven't been this excited for WrestleMania probably since Mania, I'm going to say like 31. So we're going on almost a decade since, even 30. We're going on almost a decade since I've been this excited. And tonight is, I hope I'm not over expecting what I'm expecting to see.
Let me just say, boys, tonight
Ernie hated what I said. Ernie's like, you're an idiot. Leave. The modern day Maharaja sucked.
I was gonna say we lost Ernie. That's not how you want to start off a Mania show, but it's like, go on.
Tonight defines Triple H's legacy. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think tomorrow night defines Triple H.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think I should rephrase that. This whole weekend defines Triple H's legacy. The whole thing on the Pat McAfee show, they're like, oh, we should call this the Triple H era. No, that's nonsense. He doesn't want it to be called the Triple H era. I think starting this weekend, this era is going to be defined as the Renaissance era because wrestling is once again the tip of the top It is cool again, as the final boss would say.
You guys
I
know that Cody
hate that
Rhodes-
term. I hate that term that it's cool again. It has been cool since people started to realize to treat wrestling like any other TV show. Because if you
But
look
they
all over social media,
But they
you have
don't.
the idiots. But it seems like in the mainstream, more and more people have like, and when I say the mainstream, I mean like the top people, not us. You know, like the really, really rich people. I mean, we're not all like, you know, McAdoo. We're not loaded to the brim. But, you know, like people have.
That's not how you say slick.
Well, check your bank account. He's been in it. But it just feels like, I don't know, hearing wrestling is cool again. I'm like, where have you been?
And just like anything cool,
that's bothered me.
But like something becoming cool, right? It doesn't just happen overnight. Not everything is Gangnam Style where the next day, like everyone's doing it. I think we can all agree, right? It started to pick up in that 21, 22 wave. And then, yeah, you throw in the bloodline, you throw in the WWE being better managed with its assets. Yeah, it's a lot easier for the mainstream fan to realize that wrestling is definitely cool again. I think we were a little ahead of the curve because, again, we're a little diehard fans. We're analysts. We're marks in this chat. But yeah, I think, just like anything cool, a little ahead of the curve. Everyone knew about something before it became mainstream. And that was kind of like wrestling coming back to the top of programming here.
It's weird.
I
think COVID had a lot to do with it because wrestling was the only constant during 2020. Every week there was wrestling. So people were like funneling to like, this is live. We have something to watch. And then they just stuck around.
Seriously.
Well, and one thing about what Slick said, Cody Rhodes actually trademarked the term Renaissance era.
I saw that.
Did he really?
Yeah. When did that happen?
It came out yesterday.
All right, then that's not the name of the era.
We got to call it the reality era because they're using reality.
They've done that already.
They already said that was already kind of a
Triple H said that like 10 years ago in the lead up to WrestleMania 30.
When they said they were going to listen to the fans again.
Well, speaking of which, Triple H said yesterday on the Pat McAfee show, we won't know what this era is until a couple of years from now when people are saying it. So the fact that Cody is trademarking that and Pat McAfee and Michael Cole are already trying to put a label on it is fucking nonsense.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Seriously.
Well, I think they're just glad they're not calling it the PG era anymore. So.
I mean, our truth begs to differ.
It's The Rock doing whatever the hell he wants era.
What The Rock says.
PG, brother.
I mean, we're all enjoying that.
It was the F that era or something like that.
I think so.
The what?
I saw a tweet where The Rock said that this is the F that era.
Yeah.
What?
I think that's just The Rock. He's living in that era and nobody else is.
The final
That's probably a response to Cody trademarking the Renaissance era. And he's like, fuck that,
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, speaking of fuck that, let's get into night one because it is a crazy amount of matches that we've been looking forward to with huge buildup, huge storylines on each side. The only thing more exciting than this night one is probably a night at Batavia Down.
Batavia Down is more, lots more.
Best jingle in the game.
Short and sweet.
Rob Ryan banned from this question for good reason, and they'll know why. But tonight, WrestleMania. Who was the last competitor, superstar, to win Money in the Bank at WrestleMania?
Jack Swagger.
Oh, that's a good guess.
At WrestleMania. For bonus points.
26.
For bonus points, Straw, who did he cash in on?
Chris Jericho, the following SmackDown, baby.
Pretty unbelievable. Wow. So they both went on to AEW. Pretty crazy. Thanks for that round of train wreck trivia, Batavia Downs. But there's nothing trivial about what we're getting to.
This is why we don't have Straw on the show.
If Ernie can't be here, you have my nerdy ass.
Because he's just
all right.
Good. He's just
I respect my modern day Maharaja. Speaking of respect, this next matchup, respect has been thrown out the window these last 2 weeks. We got attacks on the family. We got attacks on live shows. It is the Women's World Championship, speculated to kick off the show. That's what it says on the Wikipedia page. That's what everyone's been speculating and saying. Rhea Ripley, Mami, a dominant champion, facing off against big-time Becky Lynch. So, folks, let's start it off. Slick, why don't you take us? Let's go to Rob and then Partham around the horn. We'll snake down. What do you got happening here? Big time Bex against Mami, Rhea Ripley.
Well, you guys know how I feel. I mean, I got the Australia hat on. Mommy's always on top. But Becky Lynch, there's nothing to be taken away from her. She is the man for a reason. She brought a new feel to the women's division with her don't give a fuck attitude and, bleeding if it means everything to win. So I think this match will be quite the spectacle, but I think Mami is going to come out on top like she always does.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the build up to this match. I didn't really know how they would build it because they really started before Becky had even won the Chamber. But I think this women's title build up has actually even been better than the one we'll see tomorrow night. When that one really started out strong, but this one ended strong. There's a chance that Becky could win this, but I don't think they take all the titles away from Judgment Day just yet. So Mommy's got to be on top here.
Well, I just want to comment on. Oh wait, I thought it was my bad. Parthy is up.
All right. So Rhea Ripley is the women's division's Roman Reigns, and she's going to have a lot more of a reign to have. And she's going to be put over by all these legends, starting with Charlotte at the very beginning, and now it's Becky's turn to put her over, basically. Becky had her day, and Becky's got her fans. But there's been a lot of speculation, especially with this Philadelphia crowd, not to mention how popular Rhea Ripley is in the first place, that even though Rhea's the heel going in and she's going after Becky's, daughter and all this, heel type stuff, that the crowd's going to be pretty behind Rhea Ripley. You're going to think they were in Australia or something. So Rhea's going to have the crowd behind her. Rhea's reign is only just really begun, and Rhea's going to go over. Mommy's going to be on top in this match.
Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi.
So I don't know about you guys, but the last couple of weeks, Becky Lynch has seemed weak to me with the bringing up her dad at on Raw, then going after Rhea on who is it, Ariel Helwani show? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah.
Yes.
But it just seems like she just weak stuff to me. So give me the Chris Motionless lookalike to win this match.
The what?
Dude,
What just happened there?
Dude, she's even acknowledged it real quick before we get to. She's acknowledged that they look so much like twins, like where you could pass them two next to each other as siblings and just go, yeah, it makes sense.
Wait, who?
Yeah, wait,
Chris
who?
Motionless, the lead singer of Motionless in the White, who sings Mommy's theme song.
Yeah.
And it's going to be live tonight. It's going to be live tonight.
I guess
I
we'll
hope-
see tonight.
Dude, I hope they are there. Motionless in White is one of my favorite bands too. On top of that, it's so awesome from a music standpoint for me. But
Art inspires
like
reality. Speaking of inspiration, take it. We got Mark up next, and then let's go Strauss, Joe, Ernie to close us out.
Well, so the one thing I got to say about the build up to this match that Rob was kind of touching on, it's saying, it kind of finished strong. I feel like when there's not much motivation for these matches, they just go like grudge match. And they did the same thing with AJ Styles and LA Knight. And they're doing the same thing with this match as well. The one thing I will say is, luckily, I love anything that Rhea Ripley and LA Knight touch. So I know these matches are going to be great, but I wish the build was a little more within the story. I feel like there should have been some more motivations. But I think Rhea's going on top, by the way. I think that's something we can all agree on.
top.
Yeah, I'm thinking Rhea 100%. I think she kicks off the show in a big way. That crowd is going to be all behind her. The whole, Mac, you brought it up. The build, it just feels off. Like Becky brings up her dad. It's like, yeah, my dad never met my kids either. You don't see me crying about it. Like, it's one of those things of just like, okay, what does that add to anything? And I get the idea of like, okay, Nia's been too involved. That I get. It's just been this weird amalgamation of just nonsense where I don't know if they know what to do with Becky at this point. There's just so much power. It's kind of like I look at it when Ronda Rousey was like at the top of UFC. There was no other real stars. When Becky Lynch was at the top of WWE, there was no real like competition to her. They have that now, and now they just don't know what to do with her.
She peaked too soon.
Yeah, that's a great way. I don't know if she peaked too soon. She was there at the
that time. But yeah, you guys are right. I don't know what's going on with Becky. But yeah, Rhea Ripley. But this one's kind of hard to pick because it's part of me wants to pick Rhea. I don't see them doing a live music introduction for her if they're not pushing her to the moon. But at the same time, I'm thinking the Judgment Day implodes today. So it's like, I don't know. I'm going to take Rhea, but I think she's probably going to be the only Judgment Day winner today.
Ernie?
I really have. I mean, you guys.
Uh-oh.
I know. I was gonna say, do you guys hear him?
Ernie, try audio only to see if maybe that works.
We can all read.
All right. While we're dealing with Ernie's issue, I have an issue. What the hell happened to the Tuesday show where everyone told me it was going to be a Becky Rhea squash? Was I just imagining that entire broadcast?
Well, see, I wasn't there, so I would have.
You were
I would
there.
have.
I didn't say that.
Everyone that was here needs to answer for that bullshit because
I
I was
think it's
like,
gonna be a
Mami's going
squash.
to win this weekend, and you're all like, squash, Becky.
And I'm not talking about the
Becky
video.
on top. You all look like idiots.
Hey, Maniac, know your role and shut your mouth.
It was a work. You're working yourself.
You all worked yourself into a shoot, and now you're at the now you're all Drew Gulak at the bottom of the totem pole. All right.
Oh my God!
I'm standing
You're all a
on
bunch
that.
of veterans
I'm
who never
standing
drew a
on it.
dime.
You should probably not bring up. You should probably not bring up.
I know. I was gonna say Drew's in some trouble right
I'm
now.
bringing up the Cody insult angle on everything, but yeah. Okay.
He says it won't be a squash.
All I'm saying is,
Three on top.
I just want an explanation. I just want an explanation for why on
still think
Tuesday
it's gonna be a
everybody
squash.
was saying Becky was going to win. I
I'll
said Rhea was going to win. Now everybody picks Rhea.
I'll take accountability because
Okay.
I did.
Who
I
said
did say
Becky was gonna win?
Who said Becky was going to win?
Who said Becky was
Shut up!
Show me the
Slick,
clips.
Slick, right now you're taking accountability. Am I crazy for saying everybody was saying on Tuesday Becky was going to win?
I wasn't.
No, there's
no one said that.
Oh my God.
the
This is
tape.
gonna be the
Becky
greatest
was gonna
clip
win.
ever. This is going to be the greatest clip ever because I'm just going to
Bro,
play the Tuesday
bro,
clip.
when
You're
I
all
said
going to get cooked.
When I said,
Oh,
squash,
Maniac, you're gonna get cooked when you see it because we were saying that Rhea was gonna squash Becky.
when I said squash, I meant Rhea was gonna lay the fucking smack down on the man.
Yeah.
All right, I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
Straw and I are just here so we don't get fined.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Speaking
on
of
to
not
the
getting fined, hopefully everybody will be fine after this next match. By the way, I got Rhea obviously as well. So Slick is the only one to take Becky.
No.
What is
Yep, Slick's
I got
taking. I think Slick's
Okay.
taking Damian Priest cash in.
Clean sweep of Mami.
I
All
am.
right.
I am.
6-pack tag team ladder match. Let's see if I can get this one out. The Judgment Day versus DIY versus the Awesome Truth versus the New Day versus A-Town Down Under versus New Catch Republic. By the way, I like the new name New Catch Republic. I don't know if they had that before or something, but I think it's a good
A
name.
few weeks.
They had that at,
But with that
NXT.
said, yeah. Oh, I didn't know if in a previous iteration or a previous promotion they had a name like that or something. So that was the only thing. But yeah, I like the name NCR or whatever. But with that said, 6-pack for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match. So let me get this before predictions. Does anybody think that two teams walk home with belts today?
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Good chance.
Okay, so everybody's on that.
No,
They don't make that
I don't
comment.
think so.
I don't think they make that comment about both sets of titles without if they're not going to do that.
And
Right,
I don't
okay.
think there's tonight. I think it's gonna be 1-1. I think there's gonna be 2 tag title matches.
I don't think it.
I
I don't
don't
think
know
it
about
happens tonight.
Yeah.
There's an extra match. There's an extra
Wait.
match tonight.
All
they
the
said
promotion
both-
says the tag match is tonight.
Yeah, the tag
Yeah.
tag is tonight, but both sets of titles have to be taken down in that match for the match to be over.
By
Yeah, I
the
don't
way,
think
kind of insulting that they're doing a 6-pack tag team ladder match, but the main event is being billed as the biggest tag team match of all time. A little chip on these guys' shoulders. They got it into. But speaking of chip on their shoulders, let's get into predictions. Let's go Straw, Joe, Kali, and then around the corner, McAdoo, Partham, Rob, Slick, myself. What do you got happening in this 6-pack tag team match?
This is where I do think a 7th team gets added first off. Who? No idea. I just have a feeling this is where they do one of their surprises. But the Awesome Truth is walking out with one of these sets of titles. 100%. They are putting a belt on R-Truth, even if it's like the Zack Ryder WrestleMania 32 thing where they only have it for a night and then they lose it on Raw. But I think Awesome Truth, and then I think Judgment Day gets half of them. where I just think they're going to split it that way, and that's what's ultimately going to happen. Because the other teams, I don't see getting anything. I think this is the match where we see A-Town Down Under blow up.
Do you think that Awesome Truth would go to SmackDown then?
Probably.
I gotta say though, we need to make some adjustments for our picks if we're gonna have two.
Well,
teams.
the lucky thing is that anybody who's followed the WWE show Wrestling with Emotion knows that when there's more than 4 options in a match, there's no such thing as a wrong answer. If you get this correct, you go 1-0. If you get it incorrect, you go 0-0.
But like if you get 2 correct,
well, we might have to do a half point. We might have to do a half point for one for this.
Or two
that could be a new thing. That
for
we've
this,
never
if
had.
there's going to be 2 winners, it's kind of like look back one of the WrestleManias or one of the shows. I think it was WrestleMania. They had where they were putting the Intercontinental and European titles up on the line. The first falls for the European, second falls for the Intercontinental. You just give a half point. Yeah,
I think it was X8. With he who should not be named, Kurt Angle and Chris Jericho, if I remember correctly.
Yep. Because 17 was Angle and
redacted,
and then Jericho and
he was
It's
brought up
funny.
last night.
I was at X8, and I don't even remember if that was at X8. So, yeah.
Oh, it might have been 17 or 16.
No,
16, I mean.
You mean 2000?
May have been 16, not 17.
16.
Whenever it was.
All right, Joe, what do you got?
Are we
We
doing
know
half
what-
points
yeah,
for
we
each
know-
winner?
Yeah. So I thought Awesome Truth was going to take one of the titles. I definitely agree with that. I don't think Judgment Day is walking away with any titles. I think they're done. And I think I want to go with DIY as the other team that walks out with a title. I don't know which team's going to have which title. I'm leaning towards Awesome Truth being the Raw champs and DIY going to SmackDown. I could be wrong, but I think that's what's going to happen.
My dream, sorry to interrupt, is hopefully they do what they did with the women's titles. And then after all this, they go back to, because the draft really screws things up when there's a Raw and a SmackDown champion. And they just do World and WWE again.
Right.
For the
Tag titles are basically the last Raw and SmackDown titles, even though they're being held together at the same time.
Yeah,
Right.
I
And
just
on
changed the
Impulsive.
names. That's all I dream.
And on Impulsive, they actually confirmed the draft next month. Triple H did.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's just weird when it's like, oh, the Raw champion got drafted to SmackDown, the SmackDown to Raw. Let's trade the title. No.
Slick, are you not happy that Paul is confirming things on Impulsive?
no, I'm not. I'm fine with that. I just am not a fan of the draft. I think I've made this public before.
Well, we're not a fan of you.
Wow. I've never seen Slick at a loss for words, but someone who's not at a loss for words.
I love you. Come back. Come back.
I'm kidding.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
I'm gonna say I really hope Awesome Truth gets the Raw titles, and I think we are gonna see a SmackDown team. So I'm gonna say New Catch Republic, unless there is a surprise entrance, maybe someone like the Hardy Boys. Who said that?
That's
then,
a no shot.
Yeah, most likely not. But if that
I don't
does
even
happen,
want
I
to
can
see
be
that
there.
anymore. No more Swanton bombs. I'm sorry, Jeff.
No,
Matt
Matt Hardy calls them croutons
Yeah, they're crouton bombs now.
because they soak everything up, or the person soaks it all up. It's so good.
So Ali, who do you have?
I have New Catch Republic, and I have and I'm saying New Catch is going to get the SmackDown ones, and Awesome Truth is going to get the Raw titles.
All right, so since everyone's predicting a title split, basically,
I'm
in
not.
that case, those will be half-point picks if those end up being correct. But McAdoo, what do you got?
So a month ago, before this whole they're gonna split the titles thing even happened, I was like, they're gonna split the titles, and I think there's a stupid way to do it. So I think they're gonna have all 4 titles coming hanging up there. So what if one guy our Truth is up there getting one the Raw titles, and we'll say Gargano's gotten the SmackDown, and they punch each other, and they not as they punch each other, the titles come off. That's how I thought they were gonna do it. I'll stick with it, and I'll go DIY Awesome Truth. I'm probably going my heart over my head. I don't care.
That would be funny. Regeneration X, half of them. You got the Miz and Ciampa as tag champs, and then R-Truth and Johnny's tag champs because they split them that way.
Oh, I have an R-Truth pick. I think he's gonna start throwing people out like over the top rope during this match.
He's gonna go for a pinfall.
He's gonna do something, and we're gonna pop like no tomorrow.
Funny you mentioned that because I have a dumb R-Truth scenario. What if he grabs one Raw tag team title belt and one SmackDown tag team title belt, and he just walks off like he's won the whole thing already? When there's two more belts to be
That's actually the best scenario I've heard out of all of them, because then he's on both promotions,
and they're going to have to
and he's
figure
got
out
two different teams
on Raw or whatever the heck. But straight up, I do have the Awesome Truth as winning one set of tag team titles at the very least. If you want a SmackDown champion, the New Day's had their day. I don't think the New Catch Republic is so over yet. If they want to make DIY make a shift, okay, but they're going to have the draft anyway, so why not just draft DIY to SmackDown then? I will say A-Town Down Under might be the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, that they go for those belts.
All due respect to the New Day, but they're there for an entrance and for maybe a spot or two. Like, they're not winning anything in this match.
Yeah.
And they don't
For
need
sure.
it. They're that team. They're at that point in their
1,000%.
career,
They're kind of
don't
like
need it.
Becky. They're kind of like Becky Lynch, where they're a superstar, like enshrined status to where they don't really need a title. For sure. It'd be silly.
And
Rob
it's nuts
Ryan?
to think they've been around for a decade at this point.
Crazy, great. Remember when they came out clapping with the choir?
Yeah, especially when the week before, or like a couple weeks before, you saw him cut this serious promo, and then they come
They were all, we need a band together. And everyone was like, it's Nation of Domination 2.0. This is going to be sick.
Nope. Then they come out Baptist preacher, and I loved it.
Baptist preachers.
And we had all three back together last night, which is pretty cool to see. But
I cried a lot last night during that whole night.
So for this match, I think they're going to be split. What I've been thinking is, I know it's been briefly mentioned, I think Truth is going to pull down one set of the titles, thinks he won the whole match. And then Pierce or Aldis is going to come out and be like, hold up. We need another champion. You didn't pull both. Well, it doesn't matter how they do it. But I think Awesome Truth wins. I'm going to say the Raw. I think they're going to stick on Raw. And then for the other set, I can see A-Town down Under, but I also think they are breaking up soon. I thought it would have happened already, to be honest, after what happened at Chamber. But I think I'm going to go New Catch Republic. I just think that they put on banger matches, and I think they'd be good champs. And I don't think either. I mean, obviously Bate hasn't, but I don't think Dunne has been a champion on the main roster yet. So I think they could do it.
I agree that A-Town Down Under is liable to break up in the future, but I haven't seen enough from them recently. I saw, a little hint of it at Chamber, but last night they seemed to be on the same page, even if they were being a couple of goofs, missing Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. But anyway, Slick, go ahead.
Oh man, all your points are great. So I'm really debating now. I was the only one that I think was gonna lean towards both these titles staying together, but it seems
like they only stay together if Judgment Day wins, right? We're not seeing those other teams.
But that's the thing. I have Judgment Day at least taking down two of these titles. So in the honor of everyone else, because you've convinced me enough, I'm going to go Judgment Day and Awesome Truth. I would love to see that scenario that Partham said, where R-Truth takes down one of each. And then all of a sudden he thinks he's back with the Judgment Day because they have the other titles.
See, that's what I was just going to ask you. Do you think, here's an idea with Truth. He starts to get him, and then you have Priest try to manipulate him and saying, no, you're part of the Judgment Day again, blah, blah, blah. And you see Truth kind of fall for it.
Yeah, give me all.
I just feel we're going to get all these
shenanigans
tonight.
I could see that happening, but in the version where it's like Truth's like ignorance that actually like just tomorrow he just goes into the Judgment Day clubhouse like we still tag champions, y'all, like, and like they kind of have to play it in a way where like how can we get the titles back from him, convinced like while he's still in Judgment Day, like convincing him that way. That would just be a great storyline.
I mean,
give me all that.
JD McDonough in there, and he lost.
Give me all that.
I am surprised you guys think A-Town Down Under is going to break up. And let me only say this way. They have every reason to break up. They've like fucked up like numerous times, like have cost each other chances. But it's like fun to watch them fail in a way.
I just
like they kind of got that Team Rocket thing from like Pokemon going, where like every episode, they're going to be close. They're going to have a new scheme. They're going to be like that was closer. but it's fun to watch them fail. I feel like that for that reason alone, I think we're getting a couple more.
Yeah, you know what? I'm changing my pick.
Sure.
I'm going Awesome.
Did I just
Truth.
change the profit?
I'm going Awesome Truth, and I'm going A-Town Down Under because I think they're going to play a role on Sunday night's triple threat match, and then they'll have to compete against. I think Orton and KO are going to become a tag team.
I just think A-Town Down Under. I don't know. I think it's because of my disdain for the charisma and push vacuum that is Austin Theory. And I have such high hopes and expectations for Grayson Waller that I'm like trying to manifest in my head that they're done tonight. And because they're going to make Austin Theory the face out of that stupid breakup. And I'm so.
No, it's going to be Grayson Waller.
It has to be, but I think this is the jaded forgetting that Vince is no longer around type of thing.
We got to stop that.
It's hard. It's hard. It is so hard.
I hear Partham earlier this week. I respect what Partham says, but when Partham tells me that whoever's standing tall on the Raw show has any effect anymore on who's winning on the weekend's pay-per-view, I think it's 0.0. I think it does not have that effect anymore. It's not the same as it used to be where everything was kind of cut and dry how it was.
All right, so I'm going Judgment Day and Awesome Truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Judgment Day on the same boat.
I am gonna go New Catch Republic and Awesome Truth. You guys have convinced me on the split for those for sure. So excited about that. To be honest, this next match, they did a good job of kind of finagling, this storyline, especially at the last second with last night with some big switches there. But we got Rey Mysterio versus Andrade versus Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominik Mysterio. So this is the second WrestleMania in a row where the Mysterios are technically facing off, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Can I just say, by the way, that match might have had the two greatest entrances for one match in WrestleMania history.
Prison Dom.
The only thing that bothered me with Prison Dom is every 2 seconds he kept doing this to flip his hair back, and I'm like, we get it. You have hair. Stop showing off, asshole.
I think it's the handcuffs.
But you know what? That plays perfectly into the Dirty Dom character. So with that said, I think now, truthfully, I think we'll get into our reasoning. Does everyone have Escobar and Dom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. That's all I'm asking. I'm going to kick it off. I have Escobar and Dom. I think the writing is on the wall here. For every reason, Carlito should take the entire apple and shove it up Rey Mysterio's ass. Because he's a giant douchebag.
Yes.
Rey Mysterio's a huge douchebag who basically has no vision as far as his friends and allegiances. It's like, get out of the view here. He should have had Carlito as the partner for this match. Instead, yesterday, he jumps in bed with Andrade. By the way, Andrade watched Zelina Vega get squashed. He had no emotion for her yesterday. So now to be I don't know, awkward to me. But I got Santos, I got Dirty Dom, and I got Carlito beating the shit out of Rey Mysterio. Slick?
Dude, Rey Mysterio is a huge douchebag.
Yeah.
Is that what
in this storyline he is?
Worst dad. Dom is right.
Yeah, piece of shit.
Rey Mysterio right now is Jim Halpert on The Office. Everyone thought he was great, but when you really look at what he's doing, douchebag.
Who thought Jim was great? I don't even like that show, but even I knew from watching 2 episodes.
There's
Jim is a piece of crap.
There's no way you bring
Jim.
There's no way you flip Andrade last night into a face roll, put him with a Hall of Famer against Dirty Dom in a tag match at WrestleMania, and then don't have him win. It's Andrade and Rey Mysterio, and the writing's on the wall, Maniac. Get the fuck out of here. It's Andrade and
The writing's on the wall for you and me at WrestleMania Backlash if you keep it up.
I agree with Slick. I think Andrade and Rey's going to win. You don't have Andrade come back, play the whole heel role, and then all of a sudden turn face and lose right away. But I do think Carlito plays a factor. I think after the match, he'll attack Rey because he clearly attacked Dragon Lee last night. I mean, he did his whole, it was Santos Escobar, right away. He didn't even think about it. Clearly it was Carlito
impression.
It was Santos Escobar. Clearly he's playing a factor. I think it'll be after the match, though.
It would have been funny if there was a little bitten apple by Dragon Lee's feet or something.
Yeah, just a little chunk.
like the Cody rubber chicken.
All right, Parthy, tell me you're on my side here with Dirty Dom and Santos.
before the sub was made, I was on Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom, and I thought, just like Slick was saying, well, Andrade's coming back. He's making this big face turn. How do you not welcome him back with a win? But then the subtext of Carlito, what Rob Ryan is saying, and the fact that we didn't see who attacked Dragon Lee, and it's left as a sort of a mystery. And when Rey Mysterio first picked Dragon Lee, you heard the crowd chanting Carlito, Carlito, but then Dragon Lee comes out. It's like, oh, okay. But then when that spot opens up again and Carlito's right there and he says, yeah, we're going to have Andrade team with us. And Carlito for a second is like, oh, really? Oh, great for you. I think Carlito is starting to resent that Rey doesn't trust him to be his tag team partner or doesn't think enough of him to be his tag team partner. So despite, welcoming Andrade back to the fold, and welcoming him back means he's going to have a spot in WrestleMania, and that's good enough. And we're going to see him perform, and he's reunited with Charlotte, and you see them out there at the Hall of Fame, and that's all great. But Rey got his win over Dominik last year, and I think it's time for Dominik to get one back this year. But the story is going to be Carlito turning on the LWO, I think. So I'm sticking with Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom.
What a journey you just took us on. Hopefully the match is not that good. McAdoo, what do you got?
Y'all have made some good points. But like Partham said, I think it's time that Dirty Dom gets his revenge on his father for being so bad to him in his childhood that he's going to get the pin over his father.
Gotta go with the dirtiest, the best heel of 2023, in my opinion, Dirty Dom, Mysterio, and Santos Escobar. I mean, we're beating this to death here. We're going to see Carlito turn. That's all I really got to say about that.
All right, pants.
Rey Mysterio and Andrade. So I didn't even watch SmackDown last night because my DVR is not working. Like it's just not working. It's not playing. I didn't even know Andrade was in this match until you brought up the graphic. I'm still going Rey Mysterio and Andrade. I was going to pick Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. I think, we'll probably see something with Carlito later on, but I don't know if it'll be tonight. I also think that they're going to have Carlito lead the LWO because Rey Mysterio is always hurt. So I don't know. Maybe they're just teasing a Carlito turn, and then in the end, it doesn't end up happening. So, yeah,
I think Andrade will be the leader, just because I know you said you haven't watched last night, but that attack on Dragon Lee was all full suspicious by Carlito. So.
Oh, really? Maybe it was Andrade just to get the spot in the match. I don't know.
Andrade looked like a star though last night.
Andrade is one of the best wrestlers on the roster, and I hope he gets a great spot.
Yeah, and former NXT champion, which is typically the telling thing that Trips isn't just going to throw away this guy, throw him aside.
Right.
Shaw, do we lock in?
Santos and Dom. I'm at the point. Yeah, Carlito needs to be heel. I'm pissed that he didn't get this spot. So I want him to do whatever he can to that deadbeat Rey Mysterio. An active wrestler and still a Hall of Famer. That's bullshit.
Doesn't even take care of his son. Didn't want his son over on
BMW. I didn't even see him. I didn't even see him at his own son's wedding. I didn't see a single picture of Rey in his mask and that masked figure at his own son's wedding.
Bro, you can't just take away someone's Hall of Fame status.
No, I just did. You know why he's not a Hall of Famer? You know why he's not a Hall of Famer?
He is a Hall of Famer.
Because you know why he's not in my book?
Oh, in your book.
Because he didn't give up Dom when he had the chance in 2005. Someone who loves their son would have put him with the actual dad.
Straw, you know what I think about your book?
It's still being written.
It doesn't matter what I think about your book.
That's an insult to you.
You just fucking walk out.
But no, Dom and Santos,
Not
and
really.
I think we need the young whippersnapper in Santos Escobar to get a big win here. But no, Dom gets it. I think Dom actually pins Rey in this match.
Wow.
Oh, geez.
So wait, is it just Slick going for Rey and Andrade?
Yeah, just like who was calling me so silly.
I'm going Rey and Andrade.
Just these two marks next to me.
It doesn't matter what you think we are.
McAdoo's tag is right.
We have the brothers Uso facing off. By the way, I could tell which one is which now, and I say that with respect. But during this era, I could never tell them apart when they had the Tribal get up on.
While we do
Jade
this, while we get
right?
ready, while we get ready for this match, I have to go get a special guest and see if they'll help me with this pick.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay,
Is-
so
is
All right.
Jade
While he's getting a
right?
special guest, you never know when you're going to get a surprise return.
Does Mike Straw
Does
have a
anybody
secret twin
have?
brother?
Does anybody have Jimmy Uso?
No.
no.
Okay, I'm just saying we can relatively say that. So I would expect this match to be a classic. This is something when you have a brother and your wrestlers. I'm assuming this is basically the dream opportunity. We got Bret Hart and Owen Hart at WrestleMania 10. We got the Hardys at WrestleMania 25, and now we got the Usos at WrestleMania 40. So some crazy brother action there in the WrestleMania history there. Again, I would expect a 20 to 25 minute match, classic, crazy spots. Probably like, that moment where, 18 to 20 minutes in, they emotionally like come to a head where they want to go over it or whatever. But yeah, ultimately Jey Uso gets the win here. Anyone got any thoughts?
Yeah, I
how that
like-
goes?
Hold on. We're gonna have my guest make the pick. Who's gonna win? Say the word. What's the word? What are we doing? Say yeet.
Yeet.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeet.
Yeah.
It's going to be a yeet-worthy appearance. But does everyone agree that this will likely be a classic match that may even steal the show here?
I
Yeah.
think I said on Tuesday's show that I was looking forward to this match out of any non-title match the most. I love the 15-year tradition they're doing with the brother versus brothers. It usually brings out the best of the two brothers. Like I said, all these brothers that have faced at WrestleMania, phenomenal tag teams. But and you can see what they do together on a team basis, but when you pin them against one another, you see a whole different dynamic of what they're capable of in the ring, because these guys have probably been wrestling each other since they were 6. They know each other like the back of their hands. This is going to be an awesome match. I can't wait for it. And I hope to be going like this at the end of the night.
Yeah,
They've probably been booking this match since they were that old, since they were teenagers, and going over in their heads how they're gonna go back and forth and what's the finish gonna be like. And it's like TK with his notes, booking shows at 15. Jimmy and Jey have probably been booking this match in their minds for like decades now. So it's gonna be pretty cool to see what they've come up with.
Yeah,
I can't believe they've gone 8 months to get to this match too. I really didn't think they were going to be able to do it after SummerSlam. I was like, in my mind, I'm sitting there going, the latest they can run this match is Royal Rumble, and they somehow got to Mania with it.
Yeah.
And I'm so impressed.
Yeah, this match is going to be awesome, but I highly suggest if you didn't watch it, they'll probably show before the match tonight. Their video package yesterday the press event was one of the best video packages I've ever seen. It was awesome.
I am my brother's keeper. Yeah, that whole thing.
And then
McAdoo, what do you got?
Everyone said the bloodline shit was getting stale, and I sat here saying it's fine, just give it time, and here it is. It's more bloodline.
Just because this match is going to be good doesn't mean it's not stale. Roman Reigns should have been gone a year ago, forever gone out of my sight forever. It's stale. It's trash.
It is not.
You're stale.
Take I've ever heard in my
We'll
entire
bring this
life.
back up
What are you
later. We'll
talking
bring it
about
back up
today?
later.
Tomorrow we're gonna have an argument. Tomorrow we're gonna have a monster.
We don't have to have it tomorrow.
I'm gonna bring my popcorn.
Yeah, what's up?
Let's not argue in front of the children, the adorable children.
Let's not argue in front of the children. In fact,
worse.
this seems like a perfect time for some entertainment provided by our sponsor, Batavia Downs, with some train wreck trivia.
Batavia Downs! More, lots more!
All right, Rob Ryan and part of them are banned from this answer. But with that said, this show is going a little long, so we appreciate everyone tuning in. What is the longest WrestleMania match in history?
Shawn Michaels, Undertaker.
No, it's
Two.
Iron Man.
Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart.
Yeah, probably that one.
Shawn Michaels,
yeah.
Bret Hart,
Let's
Iron
make
Man
both.
match. What a classic! That might actually be one to rewatch today. As you get pumped.
Nah, don't do it to you. It's the most overrated match in WrestleMania history.
Whoa! Take away.
And I'm a Bret
Take
Hart
away.
mark, and I still no.
Bret Hart
Yeah,
lost.
put the figure on
That
that.
Straw just left. Straw just goes. You're done.
No.
That's that.
Boring.
But, no, real quick. I know this is gonna sound random. Did anyone check like the forecast today in Philly?
It's kind of cold.
Yeah. It's funny
Okay,
because
last I checked, a storm is coming. Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill will take on Damage Control. And if there's one Mark who has been salivating about this moment for months, it is none other than Slick Saturday. He's looking to get stepped on this Saturday. I think it's only fitting that she makes her. I mean, there was no doubt this is going to be a night one debut.
Nothing makes me happier. Nothing makes me happier than Jade actually acknowledging Slick, though.
Yeah, I mean, she does.
Like, that makes me so happy. Because
she wants everyone to be Slick. It's Jade's dream. She looks out into the audience and she just sees an audience of Slicks.
You know how there's green shirt guy and the Trinidad and Tobago shirt? No, Jade needs Slick to follow her around with that sign.
Jade, step on me, guy.
Well, he threw it away.
I thought he
broke
up with Jade. I thought
make a
him
new
and
one.
Jade broke up.
Yeah,
They may have broken up, but
me and Jade are
a guy now, right?
me and Jade are
back. So
me
with this,
and Jade are no longer, but we're still on good terms.
Oh, okay.
Well, it can always be fixed.
listen, we could talk about the greatness that Jade will exude in this day, and I think the rest of the match will hold serve as well. You got Asuka, Io Sky, you got Dakota Kai. They're gonna deliver. Does anyone not have Team Naomi, Bianca, and Jade winning this match?
I think it's a squash.
Easy.
Okay, and it should be a relative score. Maybe a couple minutes of offense.
Well,
But the whole point of this match is to showcase Jade, right?
Keep in mind we have the women's tag team champions in this match. You don't want to necessarily squash them. Maybe Dakota Kai takes the pinfall or whatever.
And I
feel
think
like
this
that
is
title's
also a
already
match.
ruined.
Yeah, I don't think they care about those titles.
No, and this is also a match.
I think it'll actually be a really great match, and Jade will eventually get the hot tag, like the real hot tag, after Bianca and Naomi, and then that's when you showcase Jade and make her pin the most vulnerable person on the other side. I don't really know who that is. Like Partham said, there's a tag team champions on there, so. But yeah, not a squash, but you really got to showcase Jade, and you know what Bianca and Naomi are capable of. This should be a great match, in my opinion.
You know what? I agree with you, Slick, but I'm going to say this. The second that Jade does get that hot tag, that's when it turns into a squash.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I can see that getting like its own special camera angle and like crazy production, honestly, because this is going to be the footage of Jade. Truthfully, like I don't see her having a match every week on SmackDown unless it's literally a squash match with like a local jobber. So this is going to be the footage that they're using, like, you know, when they're video packaging her like week after week after week. So I would expect some, you know,
they're gonna give Jade like 5 minutes alone with whoever's in that ring with her, and I feel sorry for whoever's in that ring with her because it's gonna be pump kick after suplex after Jaded, and then 1, 2, 3. Good night now.
I don't even think this match was supposed to happen, to be honest. Because there's been a lot of the rumors that Asuka's kind of banged up, injured. So I have a feeling it was supposed to be Bianca and Naomi versus Kabuki Warriors for the titles. And this is just what they did to get them all on the show to make sure to protect Asuka in this situation. And you know what? Might as well get Jade on there with two of the bigger women stars that the company has, especially one of the biggest. I may not care for Bianca, but that's mostly because of a gimmick thing than anything for me. And
she has hair.
And that hair. Yeah, that hair. Anybody with hair automatically is a heel to me. See, but your hair, you're losing it. I can tell.
Shit!
I can tell by right here.
Shit.
You got maybe 5 years.
Gospel on your
you got maybe 5 years. Rob Ryan, no, I got Rob Ryan's back on this one. Yes, my brother.
Let's go, Rob.
Someone put this shit, and in 5 years' time, April 6th,
you can take shots at each
2029.
other, but these next two are going to be taking some hammer shots at each other. By the way, who was like aware of this?
Only because I saw it yesterday.
See, that's wrong.
Okay.
El Generico's dead. He's been dead for 10 years. I don't know how they got that picture. That's not him.
Well, that was from him back in the day. I mean, you know,
yeah, that was when he was alive.
He was alive 15 years ago.
But why are they making this? It doesn't matter. Like, what
no, we're
does this have
saying
to do
that.
with anything?
I mean, it's just crazy that you know Gunther's undergone this transformation. That's the only point of this post, Strauss, just to see the physical transformation that Gunther's undergone.
Well, it goes to show when
no other
WWE tells you to get in shape. Get in fucking shape because look what happened. He's the longest Intercontinental champion of all time.
Dude, absolutely. I mean,
not bad for someone who didn't want to move to the States.
By the way, these are 2 top 5 themes for me in the WWE. Gunther's theme and Sami Zayn face theme. So this will be great entrances. Should be amazing atmosphere. That said, who do you got? Let's start with Straw. Go sweatpants around with Mark and up through the snake. What do you got?
This is a tough
Zayn,
one.
This has been tough for me.
These are
and
tough.
You know what? I don't usually go with the betting odds, but this is a complete even match on all sports books. It is the one toss-up match for everywhere, and that's kind of where my mind is. I think it's still Gunther because I think whoever beats Gunther, this is like what I'm thinking. Carmelo Hayes beats Gunther for that title, and they skyrocket his ass. That's where I think he finally loses it. So this is Gunther to retain, but it's going to be a fantastic match where that big underdog and then Gunther finally says enough of this crap.
So at WrestleMania 6, Mr. Perfect was undefeated and he lost to Brutus the freaking Barber.
Hey,
Sami Zayn is gonna win this match.
Straw, you haven't needed a barber in years, brother.
8 years.
But I think Sami Zayn wins. I like what they were doing with the whole build up with Shorty G, getting him into it. And I love the Rocky montages they were doing. I don't think they do all that just to have him lose. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn in this one. It's a heartbreaker for Gunther, but I just don't see them doing all that for Sami and then having him lose. I just don't see it. So
Partham, Ali.
Ali?
Oh, it's me. I thought it was
Yeah.
Partham. My bad. Well, I would say I want Sami to win so bad, and I'm gonna lock him in as my actual pick. But here's the one thing about Gunther and his matches is even if it's the underdog and you see them time and time again getting closer and closer to beating him with the ring general, it takes one freaking mistake. It takes one damn mistake for him to just destroy you in 3 moves, and then the match is over. 1, 2, 3, Gunther's hands raised. With that being said, I'm still locking in Sami. I think for the same reasons that Joe said, I don't think they're going to build Sami like this just to frickin' take him down once again. We had the same thing happen at Elimination Chamber, and yes, he did have a crowning moment at WrestleMania, but at this time, I think he needs singles gold. Otherwise, his character just might be ruined.
See, I kind of think he's in that point again, like the New Day and Becky. He's gonna have his major fans. He's not gonna, he doesn't need a title. I think he's at that point. I don't know. Like I said, this is a toss. I just keep going back and forth. But my heart keeps saying Gunther.
Rob Ryan.
McAdoo?
Or McAdoo, sorry.
So, 2 years ago, we all watched as a jackass pinned Sami Zayn at WrestleMania.
In the best match of that show.
Amazing match.
Great match.
Unreal.
Yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't a good match. I'm just saying he got pinned by a guy who's not in the WWE.
Hey,
Fast forward
put some
tonight.
respect on Johnny Knoxville's name,
I
brother.
love Johnny Knoxville. I love Jackass, but you got to make the point of that. However, Sami Zayn tonight will win the Intercontinental Championship, beating Gunther, ending the longest reign.
That it?
That's it.
You threw me off, asshole.
The interns are slow today.
Okay, guys. The original opponent for Gunther was, well, let's say his name, Brock Lesnar. I mean,
No.
We're allowed to say it now. They said it last night.
They said it.
Yeah, Paul said it. Paul is above. Paul also told people to SSD.
Paul did say it.
Whatever.
That's
All right.
his effing D.
Good on
We
Paul.
know who his original opponent was, and we knew that in that instance, Gunther was going to go over. I don't see them changing major plans just because they have to change the opponent. Now, Sami's told a pretty good story up to this point, him and Chad Gable. And if Sami had never won the Intercontinental title before, then I'd be a little bit more inclined to lean to Sami Zayn. But he already had, like we just said, he already had his crowning moment last year in the main event of WrestleMania. He doesn't necessarily need another one. It's nice for him to bring up the point that he ended the longest tag team reign, and he could do it again. It's points in his favor as far as, making a good promo, making a good case for him to, do it in kayfabe. But Chad Gable, wanting this and everybody wanting it for Chad, and him all of a sudden being, Sammy's coach, his Mickey, so to speak. I don't know. It's a little too convenient. I don't see them changing plans, just because they have to get the title off Gunther, because they weren't planning to get the title off Gunther this fast. I see this quickly. This soon,
I know what you mean.
Soon, whatever. I see possibly a Chad Gable heel turn, because
I
he doesn't either want
Oh,
Sammy to win,
God.
or he doesn't believe Sammy should win, or something like that.
I think
think
the
that
only way it's logical is if he's like, it should have been me.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
don't.
exactly the way it would be if it happened.
But I hope I see that happening down the line, because I think Chad Gable 2024 is going to be the year of Gable and Waller as far as like breakout single stars, like as far like going to that upper tier or whatever where they do. I hope it's not tonight, because I fully expect a Carlito, and we don't need multiple like those types of turns if the Carlito one happened. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe the Carlito one doesn't happen tonight, and then the Gable one, as long as it's not two of them. The same type of things.
You can double
not
turn
both?
two guys in one night. You can,
But
not the same way.
Two guys in one night. I mean,
I'm saying
AEW
not the
just
same
came out-
way where it's like
AEW
he
came out
passes
with
a friend.
freaking Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson back to back, for crying out loud. Screw the rules.
Yeah, but they only wrestle in front of 600 people. They're at that other place in front of 600 people.
I
So.
remember way back in the day when
snap.
Triple H and The
That's what
Rock both
McAfee
took
said.
over their respective factions in the same night, the Raw after WrestleMania. So you can do two of anything in the same night, as far as I'm concerned. But the bottom line is, Gunther was meant to retain the Intercontinental title. Gunther, I think, as good as a story as they told with Sami Zayn, as much as the crowd supports Sami Zayn, I think they're sticking with Gunther as the Intercontinental Championship. And there might be a Chad Gable heel turn involved in it.
Yeah. I don't see the Gable heel turn just yet, just because then what do you do with the Alpha Academy? Because they're not all going heel. So would Gable leave the Alpha Academy like AJ left the OC? I don't know how that would really work out. But I've been very conflicted, as most of the have said about this match. I love what they've been doing with Sammy, with the Rocky montage. Him really not believing himself. Obviously, that's the Rocky thing. But I really thought Gable would be in this match. I thought it would be the one to take the title off of Gunther. I'm like just trying to think where they can go with Sammy if he loses this match. And what brings me up one good point is who most likely wins tomorrow night for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think they could start a feud there. So I may be wearing a shirt today, but unfortunately, you can't count out the Ring General, Gunther.
Or as Pat McAfee kept saying, dude, I never heard him butcher something so bad yesterday than trying to say.
I think it was being intentionally butchered.
I know, but it was so bad. It was borderline like.
It had to be bad. That was the
infuriating.
point.
I know, but there's a difference between like intentionally being bad and then doing it to the point where it's starting to get really annoying. Yeah, it's like he was trying to hawk up phlegm the entire time.
Or choke on a gum.
So Sami Zayn has compared this to Rocky IV, and I totally agree. I don't see, after the whole Montreal situation, Elimination Chamber versus Roman, that was Sammy's moment. There are hot wrestling crowds. I think of Chicago, Montreal. Philadelphia is its own different beast when it comes to live entertainment crowds. And this crowd is going to be entirely behind Sammy. It's not Montreal. The Ring General, I am not taking anything away from Gunther, longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. But this match is going to steal the show. This is why I didn't want to pick this one. My favorite non-title match, like I said, was Jimmy Jey. This match is going to steal the show, and Sami Zayn is going to come out victorious with the Intercontinental Championship.
Wait, your favorite non-title match?
I said that I didn't pick this.
But it's a title match.
I know.
That's why.
How could it be in the first?
That's why my favorite That's why I said my favorite non-title match when I said Jimmy Jey.
Oh,
I don't know if he said it wrong. Partham's got me blizzarded, but I
I'm
agree with
tracking.
everything Slick said. I think, and also this is like kind of one of those angles where it's just like if you're not going to get the title off Gunther at WrestleMania against Sami Zayn, like when would he ever lose the title? Like I don't know.
SummerSlam Carmelo.
I mean, yeah.
But when's Bash at Berlin in Berlin?
Clash at the Castle?
No, Bash in Berlin is September,
Oh,
right?
it's a separate
October,
one. Yeah, my
September,
bad.
October.
I think Gunther probably wrestles for the World Heavyweight Championship at that.
That's
CM
what I'm
Punk
thinking. That's why I'm thinking if it's
Gunther?
after SummerSlam, which I'm pretty sure it is now that I think about it. If it's after SummerSlam, he loses the title at SummerSlam, if not tonight.
I do think that Chad Gable and Sami Zayn go into a feud after Sami wins this Intercontinental Championship, and I wouldn't be surprised if Chad Gable wins it off him not too long into the future.
Yeah, because you don't need one thing wrestling is bothering me with is title reigns lasting so long. You don't need every title reign to be half a year or 7 months. You can do fine with a 1 or 2 month title reign at best, especially when you have weekly TV. Like, I'm not saying hot potato it like the 90s, late night, like 99 WWE, but like you don't need like these super long.
Well, if you look at like UFC and boxing, most title reigns don't last past one defense anyway.
Exactly.
I mean, let's not compare the UFC right now.
I mean,
All
it's
right,
just as
they do
scripted
like
as
to cross
WWE.
over.
So.
They're doing more crossover than over. And speaking of weekly TV, we've been blessed with the final boss returning to weekly TV just as much as Roman Reigns. And we'll find out night one main event, the Bloodline, The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. This should be a relative spot fest. I'll kick it off and then we can go Slick down the line here. But I have shenanigans afoot in this match, obviously. I have at one point, I don't know if it'll be Seth pinning The Rock. I don't know if it'll be Cody pinning Roman, but there'll be one point where the face team has them pinned for a 1, 2, 3. The arena will count it out. Something will happen. The belt will be brought out. And Mama Rhodes, if you think this night has a good ending for Mama Rhodes, you have not been paying attention. She is getting handed a blood-soaked belt tonight, unfortunately. So I got the Bloodline taking it home on night one. Slick, what do you got?
Yeah, Tuesday's show, I absolutely botched my thinking of this, even though it was good booking at the time. But I totally agree. This is going to be a spot fest, just like the main event of night 2. I do think Mama Rhodes is going to be handed a bloody belt, unfortunately. Bloodline interference is going to be happening all over the place. Rock is going to pull some executive power, some EVP power, if you will say. And Bloodline's going to come out on top. And Cody and Seth, there's just no way they win this match, especially with the possibility of both of them winning night 2. So I'm going to go with the Bloodline.
Yeah. As I said on Tuesday, I think this is going to start the little backlash between Rock and Roman. I do agree Mama Rhodes will be getting a bloody belt at the end of the night, but I think that bloody belt comes back tomorrow night, and we'll talk about that tomorrow, though. I do think Rock's going to go for the pin on Cody, and Roman's going to be like, hold up, I'm the tribal chief. You're not winning this match. I'm winning this match. He'll get the pin on Cody. That will start the little backlash between Rock and Roman. I know Rock's going away for a few months to film his next failed movie. But
don't talk about the final boss like that.
But I do think Blood and Rules will be tomorrow night, and I do think Roman and Rock wins tonight, and a bloody belt will be coming, and we'll see tomorrow the most overpacked match of all time.
If tomorrow we're all expecting to be some version of Endgame, then this has to be some version of Infinity War where the heroes are left battered, bloodied, and just completely beaten. I could see shenanigans, but not necessarily from the Bloodline. I expect them to get involved in some way, outside of Rock and Roman. We saw Paul Heyman the other night. Wasn't he talking with Drew McIntyre in the background somewhere? I could see, Drew getting involved in this to screw over Seth for, you've been too distracted by the Bloodline here. And,
why is he Arnold?
I did a bad Scottish impression. I'm sorry. I tried.
Get to the job, Seth.
Like a good neighbor.
Wrong answer.
Get to the
I
job.
could see. Shut up.
He is a visionary.
I could see McIntyre getting involved in this match and then the Bloodline repaying him the next night by getting involved in the World Heavyweight Championship match and helping McIntyre win with that. There might be other things, dynamics going on with that particular championship match, but I see the Bloodline standing tall, and not just standing tall, but dominantly with both Seth and Cody just bloodied and beaten down and just laying unconscious in a heap.
The one thing that I just don't see Drew getting involved, because this whole road to WrestleMania was, Seth, you have to focus on me. You stop focusing on the Bloodline. This is the biggest match of WrestleMania. Why would then Drew go and get involved in the match that he has not wanted Seth to be involved the whole time? He wants Seth to be fully ready for his match on Sunday night. So I don't see Drew coming.
Or does he?
Yeah, he's a heel, so you never know.
That is true.
Those,
He's the weirdest heel of all time.
Heels.
All right, we got the second half of our main event picks coming up here, but we got to hit the brakes because we have one last train wreck trivia brought to you by
Potato down is more, lots more.
Woo. Let's go.
Just like all our other rounds. Mike Partham and Rob Ryan are banned from this one as well. The Undertaker infamously lost his undefeated streak at WrestleMania a couple years ago. Who has the most wins at WrestleMania without incurring a loss?
Michael Cole.
Without a loss.
Without a loss. So technically an undefeated streak at WrestleMania.
Wow.
Which that wasn't a real guess, obviously, but Michael Cole is undefeated at WrestleMania.
He is undefeated. He just doesn't have the longest streak.
Snoop Dogg.
No, it's not Snoop Dogg, although that was big when he stepped in for Shane O'Mac. That feels like a century ago.
It's not Edge because Edge lost to Undertaker.
Rhea Ripley?
No,
She lost
to what? Charlotte
at
you're right.
at Performance Center Mania.
Yeah.
So silly for the NXT title of all things. That was the one. I mean, geez, you think that was a Vince decision? That made no
Baron
sense.
Corbin.
No,
he lost 38.
Currently on the roster.
Hint. He made TV last night.
Currently on the roster.
Made TV last night.
In the Hall of Fame or SmackDown?
Yeah, I was going to say the Hall of Fame.
He made TV last night.
So it could have been Rampage too.
Could have been Rampage.
Oh, wow.
Could have been Ring of Honor.
Andrade?
Biscuit eating fart. I don't think Andrade's had a Mania match, has he?
Yeah, I don't know.
He had a big moment last night.
Wait.
Keith Lee made TV last night.
The hell with the final boss. Here's the final
Rey
hint.
Mysterio?
Rob Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam is 4-0 at
Son of a
WrestleMania. The longest WrestleMania undefeated streak currently goes to RVD. With that said,
Bianca ties it up.
Brought to you by Xavier Downs.
Oh yeah, Bianca.
Bianca ties it up tonight.
Yeah, Bianca will. Yeah.
To tie it up. Okay, that's something to watch for. McAdoo, Mark, Sweatband Show, Mike, take us home on picks for this main event.
I hate the idea of this match because you're putting because you're putting three guys in who are going to be big proponents for night 2. If one of them gets injured, which I understand, injuries can happen fucking a month ago, but you're putting another chance of injury out there for the 3 of the guys. But then I thought, what if The Rock is a contingency plan where if Cody, Roman, or Seth gets injured, The Rock steps in for him? Because I think that it could work in theory if that happens, but I hope it doesn't.
Bro, that's not happening, dude. Someone gets injured, they're going like...
If that was going to happen, that would have been a better storyline to actually have that be the stipulation. If somehow Cody couldn't wrestle on night 2, Rock was in for the title. That would have been a great stipulation in this match.
You have to have a backup plan here, and I don't see what it... Other than that, I don't see what it could be if something happens.
Cody wrestled in Hell in a Cell with a fucking torn pec. There's no way he's missing.
Agreed. And there's 0% chance he's letting The Rock hand his mom a bloody belt tonight and not winning the title tomorrow.
Exactly.
That's
I'm just saying, shit happens. That being said, I think you all know where I'm going. Acknowledge me.
Oh.
Acknowledge me.
Dude, I'd rather acknowledge a hemorrhoid than you.
I acknowledge the real needle mover, CM Punk. Thank you.
You mean the guy that's on commentary night too and not wrestling?
The guy who moved 500,000 viewers for 1/4 segment? Yes.
My
All right, you
favorite
listen
wrestler.
here.
The guy that can't hit a
Rhodes.
buckshot lariat to save his life.
Who cares?
Mama Rhodes. You see this belt? You take this belt. I'm gonna put your son's blood on it. I'm gonna hand you this belt with your son's blood on it. Mama Rhodes, your tears, your son's blood on this belt. Obviously, we know exactly where the hell this is going. We're gonna see a slaughter. We're gonna see an absolute demolition squad. It's going to be electric. I think blood and tears on the damn belt handed to Mama Rhodes. That's all I got for you guys.
Yeah, I just the bloodline's organized, and for whatever reason, the faces can't get organized. Like they can't just unite and take on the bloodline and finally take them out. I don't know why that is. Get some guys, go get them. It's just not happening. We've been waiting for this Avengers storyline to play out, and it really hasn't. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the bloodline. I don't see like them giving, like literally giving Mama Rhodes the bloody belt, but I other than that, I agree. It's gonna be the bloodline winning.
Yeah, it's the bloodline, and Partham brought up exactly what I'm thinking, that Drew McIntyre gets involved and costs Seth, and Seth takes the pin. That's just, I was talking with my wife about it last night. That's just where we see this match going. It's going to be a cluster. It's going to be amazing, but McAfee's I'm going to hate this so much. But after seeing what Cody just tweeted 10 minutes ago, I'm officially on screw him. I don't want him winning the damn title.
Oh God, I gotta see this.
We're looking it up. Stand by. Stand by.
He said,
Hold on.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Oh.
Oh man, a heel turn from Cody right before WrestleMania.
In my eyes,
No.
that's a heel turn.
Let's go.
wait, what? He's a
Oh.
prime athlete now? Okay, that's interesting.
I wonder how he got this.
Hey, I know
Doing it.
I know there's probably some Yankees fans in here, but Aaron Judge is also a prime athlete. So
Yeah, and that's
Now
why
we
he
know
sucks on it, too.
Cody confirmed winning. He's going to be standing on the prime bottle, holding the title at the end of WrestleMania tomorrow night.
I quit.
imagine they do it like the UFC where they make them hold like the monster can when they're holding the belt. Like they make
You
him
know
I mean, he'll have it-
100% every wrestler will have a bottle of Prime during the post WrestleMania press conference.
It's
Oh,
going to be
for
on.
sure.
It's going to be on the mat.
Wait. Did you just say a media scrum
Yeah, those stupid things. No,
with
press conference.
with CM Punk in it?
No, I said press conference. Not
Alrighty,
not
folks.
doing
What a
media
show it's
anymore.
been. Any final thoughts for the final boss before we sign off for our Nate 1 predictions? I mean, again, this should be a
don't
banger.
tear
This should be
tricep
banger after banger after banger.
Don't tear your
Maniac,
tricep again.
Did we
Hype,
get your
hype.
pick for Gunther
you
versus
now.
Sammy?
Yes, I have Sammy winning tonight because if you're not going to do it, if not now, then never. So I got
But-
Sami Zayn winning it tonight to a raucous Philadelphia crowd.
Can we also just say, for those who are interested in NXT on the pre-show, Ava Raine confirmed that just let Mello and Trick fight. Don't disqualify him. Quote, let them go at it. She told the ref. She clarified what she said on NXT on Tuesday, and it seems like it's going to be, based on what was said, a complete no-holds-barred, beat the hell out of each other match, which
What
is
what
going-
time does that kick off?
12
the show
o'clock.
starts at noon, which
Let's
is
go.
going to make Mello and Williams is going to be my match of the weekend. I don't care. I am so excited for that match, more than I've been excited for a match since I saw Forbidden Door when I saw Okada and Danielson. Like, I'm just so over the moon excited for this.
All right. Well, how can you not be excited? If you're not, you don't have a pulse. You don't love wrestling. I know everyone in this chat, everyone in this panel loves wrestling. So shout out to them all. Make sure you're following them all. Make sure you're following Wrestle with Emotion, because it's not the show where you wrestle with your budget. It's not the show where you wrestle with your conscience. It is Wrestling with Emotion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.